Good morning. Welcome all, wherever it is, whatever time it is. Welcome to Essential Leadership Skills, the podcast. Today, we're going to explore with Chawn Bracey a powerful new way to market yourselves. I have to admit, something I want to do, and I think most of you are going to want to do it once you hear all about it. But let's talk about it. Let's listen. Let's get to go.
This is a Touchstone Publishers presentation, your trusted source of leadership knowledge.
Well, okay. Once again, welcome everybody. Please welcome my guest, Mr. Chawn Bracey. He's here today. We're going to hammer this out. We're going to learn a little bit. And I know I didn't say it right. Help me again. Chawn Bracey, right?
Chawn. Thanks. Yep.
Chawn. Okay. Chawn. Okay. Tell us a little bit, if you will. Tell us something to get started about yourself or about your company, Music Motivators, that most people just don't know about that's worth sharing.
Yeah. So what most people don't know is that we originated from shooting music videos. It was a grassroots motivational movement to where we film a video once a week. And so we come up with a fresh concept every week, film the footage, get the footage edited, find different ways to market it, every week, which mostly was we would print out bookmarks, laminated bookmarks, double-sided, pass them out everywhere.
And that helped people get to know you a little bit.
Absolutely. And starting out, it wasn't motivated music, and it was like we changed. So it was like motivation for the motivated. People would take pictures with the bookmark, and speaker reached out, and then that's when we kind of niched down into, this motivational movement that we do. We post positive videos. Why not work with speakers, And we've just been diving into the speaking business, working with speakers, trying to provide value and help, every way we can, which turned into our core product, which is a speaking album now.
So, and that's why, as a publisher, speaker, why I got attracted to it, but it went a little bit further for me. Let's talk about that for a second, because it went to saying, okay, wait a minute. If I can put together a motivational piece like this, and then I started noticing them on television for the first time, I started looking at television, I saw like 3 or 4 different television ads that were doing just what you were saying. But then I said, a nonprofit group that's out there in the educational space trying to draw more business into Head Start programs or into a healthcare program. I saw a motivational piece for something like that nature. And that's where you're kind of pointed toward now, or?
Yeah, I definitely see a point towards that now. It started with speakers, but every company, entrepreneur needs to market themselves, to stand out from the pack, and create that marketing material to be able to, either differentiate yourself or really show and highlight what makes your company special.
Okay. Talk to me about how you put this all together. I mean, the process, the nitty-gritty, the dirty. You're sharing this with me, but you're sharing this with leaders who might really consider this. How are we putting this together? How is this happening?
Oh, wow. It's a simple and easy process, which oftentimes, just creating a Google Drive and uploading links to it. Something similar, writing a book. And, we all know that writing a book could take months, even years sometimes. It's a life project for some people. But, with this, all it really takes is, if you're not sending, some clips that you're either through WeTransfer or send up a Google Drive or there's some stuff you've done, or recording fresh voiceovers, then it's only like I just left a studio session, a 60-minute studio session to where we record some voiceovers, a series of voiceovers, and get everything we need for the album. And we'd be good to go in a few weeks.
So we were talking about how this attracts new clients for everybody and a new audience. How does it do it?
Well, it exposes your brand to a new worldwide audience. Say you're here, or wherever you are. We're in different time zones. So you post something, your album's out there. Someone in Indonesia can easily consume your album and become your biggest fan, and could very well lead to you getting booked in Indonesia.
When you say album, what do you mean? Because when I think of album, I think of the old Earth, Wind & Fire's and Brothers Johnson albums that have like 13, 14 songs on an album, on a piece of vinyl. But what do you mean? What does this mean in this line of work?
Well, it's the same kind of impact. So you can create an album, people 20 years, 30 years are still going to be, thinking about some of the principles, some of the messages that they still live by from your album. The same way you probably still remember some of those lyrics. And a lot of times with these projects is that they don't need to be a full like 15, even 13 tracks sometimes. We find a sweet spot being 8 to 12 tracks is all you need to create some high quality impact for everyone.
So, and each track is its own individual message.
Absolutely. And it's all dependent about how you want to market, but each track can be its own digital product, essentially. You can have a keynote around each topic, you can, because some people offer different talks. So you can have a track per talk, or that track could turn into a different workshop or another book idea or another concept or another piece of your, keynote, whether you're looking at it as walkout music, you're walking out to your own speech track to, get people comfortable, like, oh, this is the guy that's going to speak. It's cool. Yeah, at a midpoint of your speech, whether you're trying to transition and create a new mood or get people thinking differently, that track can guide that. Or as an outro to where you're ending off with the bam, like, hey, this is my stuff. This is me. Download this as, download it right now. Or all three.
Okay. So I want to put it back into one of my clients who I was thinking about. They are in the nonprofit space. They are government financed. They get some of the government money based upon how many students they involve into the various programs. So they have a program for those who are just getting out of prison, who've been long-term prison, people are just getting out. They have a Head Start program. They have a work skill program, a work placement program. So they could actually build individual pieces, or you would help them build individual pieces to help people get inspired to do each individual thing there.
Absolutely. We could create tracks for the program to be the theme, the actual theme of the program, whether it's like the theme song or the marketing tool, the main marketing tool. You can use it within the program to promote the program. I think that would be actually a great idea. And I haven't seen any nonprofits using this stuff. We haven't really worked with any nonprofits to create albums for them. But I feel like those first few will be trailblazers because this is about to take off in the speaking business. But within companies, I see a lot of even more of an opportunity area to have, do some special things with the album.
Now we have another part of our podcast that deals with TEDx speakers, and they could actually come to you and do the same thing, right? They could say, okay, here's my TEDx talk. Make an album out of that, make 2 or 3 tracks out of that, maybe. Here's my keynote talk, and make out of that. Where did you get your inspiration for that type of work? I mean, we talked about Eric Thomas, I believe is his name, or where did you get your inspiration to do this type of work for speakers and now for nonprofits?
Wow, Eric Thomas is definitely one of the original inspirations. Just watching what he was doing within the speaking business. I ran into him on YouTube, like I feel like everyone else. But when I caught wind of him, I was noticing, like, I really like to study a lot of people and how they market their business. Mm-hmm. And I noticed, like, wow, he releases music with his speeches. Very interesting. So what he would do is popular radio songs, what some musicians do, rappers, singers, a popular song, they remix it, take that same instrumental and make their own version of that song because people are already familiar with it and more keen to already like it. So he was doing that, but with motivational speeches. I was like, wow, this is really neat. And at the time, I was first caught wind of him. I was still kind of doing a little bit of everything and hasn't really niched down within the speaking business. But we were creating motivational content. So I definitely took notice, but the first opportunity to work with the speaker was someone that saw one of our videos that we were putting on YouTube once a week, and they just wanted to know how we could connect and how we could collaborate. I was like, I don't know, but you're a speaker, so send me a speech and I'll do something with it, make some music behind it. And in doing so, I was getting inspired. I was like, wow, this is really neat. I wonder if a few more speakers could send me a speech, like a few sound bites, and I could maybe put that together all in one track. But as I was reaching out, I got overwhelmed with speeches. People were sending me, voiceovers left and right. It was a free project. But so as I'm working on it, it was like, oh, this is more than one track. This is an album. So we did the album, put it out there, and a few speakers on the project wanted to know what it would look like to have their own album produced. And that's when we really started to niche down, really study the industry, ask questions, try to get speaking engagements ourselves, it's really creating. It took a while, trial and error of what works, what doesn't work, marketing wise, production wise, distribution. And, fast forward today, we're partnered with the biggest motivation app in the world, working with some of the biggest thought leaders. And it's been a really awesome journey.
This sounds like a powerful journey. I'm digging down a little bit because I want people to walk away. And I got to be honest, I'm digging down a little bit for myself. Okay. So I want to just make sure that our leaders walk away with understanding that this is a way to attract a worldwide audience, or the company I'm thinking about in particular, a Texas-wide audience, because some of these government agencies are funded by their state, and that's as far as they can get is their state. But you mentioned YouTube. Okay. And I'm starting to use YouTube a whole lot more. So now, two questions here. Do people brand their YouTube with your work?
For sure. You can use this work as the core, of all of your marketing stuff on your YouTube channel, as the core across your social media channels. You have the music that you can put under, embed under all of your videos, or, as with whichever video marketing tool, whichever marketing video you want to use it for, or create specific pieces for each track. The same way a musician would create a music video for it, we actually substitute that by creating trailer videos for some of the songs on the album.
So when, like, the little clip I use for the start of this program, it was like 8 seconds. Okay, maybe 10 is the most. They caution you to use only about 10 seconds. So I used my voiceover lady, and then I actually did. I don't know if we talked about this or not, but I studied music at the University of Colorado, so I actually wrote the music myself to go behind that. But that's the work you would do.
Yep, exactly.
So if I had a series, okay, so this comes from, gosh darn it, I'm going to lose the name, the Cleveland Clinic. The Cleveland Clinic, they're a healthcare clinic worldwide, but they put together a video that was about 2 minutes long. And it's all, dramatic violin music playing in the background. And they have statements going on throughout all this. It's a tearjerker. By the time you get to the end of it, you really are feeling compassion for people who are ill, of all shapes, sizes, colors. It just makes you want to cry. You're capable of doing that type of work.
Absolutely. Music is the key to the soul. And that's what this creates. When you're saying all of this positive stuff combined with some music, it can really touch some people, because everyone has a song that they go to, whether to build some momentum or kind of just reset. This is that.
I was going to ask you to inspire us. Tell us something that inspires us. So inspire us, please. But you just did. Music is the key to the soul.
Absolutely.
And so no matter what project you're putting together, if you put that project together in a way that opens up people to thinking and connection with their soul, I guess is the best way only way I can think of to put it.
Yeah, that's where soul music came from. That's what I feel like each genre was created to give that kind of feeling to you. The genre, they're just titles, but you feel that music. That's why each genre has its own separate sound, and this music is its own separate sound.
Okay, now you just brought up something that might be a little bit hard to do, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I do. Genres. You can work in any genre. So if I said come do country or come do hard rock, or I said do R&B or jazz, you could classical, you could work in those areas.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
So just have to say that. So that means if and you're laughing, so that's not a hard question for you, because
No, this is what I do.
Yeah.
It's hard to be able to create any kind of look, create any kind of sound, and we have a team of people that have been together for years, and we developed the right production strategies, and we're ready for any project.
Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a chance here to do something that I normally don't do in this program. I want you to tell people how to get a hold of you, what they can do. I want you just to lay it all out for them so they can simply see how to get a hold of you, to get more information or get something started for themselves.
Absolutely. I start with the website, motivatormusic.com. So motivatormusic.com. You'll get a good feel for the whole vibe and the whole energy of creating this speech music, whether it's you're reading blog posts, whether you're looking at the speaking industry insights up there. It has some stuff on how to position yourself for a TED talk. Whether you want to hear and see some samples, we have a speaker reel sample up there, and we can also provide additional samples if you want to see a little bit more than what's on the site. We have a speaking album section to where you can really get a feel for, speaking albums, have some sample tracks up there as well. And, really kind of ingratiate yourself in, the motivated music mentality and really putting your stuff out there.
What does that take time-wise? Are we looking at, I think you mentioned it earlier, but are we looking at a couple weeks, couple months to put together just, let's say I want to do 3 Eric Thompson style videos. So Eric Thomas, I said Thompson, but Eric Thomas, he would give you a speech. And in the background of that speech is the music that's building and going back and forth with them. Or he would give you a view of their facility and the music would be playing in the background. Tell us about the time process. And you did a little bit, but I just want to highlight it.
Yeah, so I think the time process is probably the second greatest thing about this. It doesn't take long at all. Some projects like with this same kind of impact can take a lot longer, like writing a book, developing a course, coaching program. But this, you just create a few voiceovers or send some stuff you've already did, whether it's a talk, keynote talk, a TED talk, or YouTube series, and we take it from there. We do all the heavy lifting. The hardest thing you're going to do with this project is finding links or creating a voiceover from your phone or your home office, which we typically recommend that you freestyle. We give you a few different talking points, which would kind of lean you towards being the track titles. But we feel like it's already within you. Your keynote topic is already within you. What you already talk about is already within you, and you get your best stuff sometimes just talking.
See, now that's valuable. I want the leaders who are not in the speaking industry to hear that, because that's the valuable part. Your keynote is within you. Now, I kind of laugh when you say the hardest part is putting together, I think I told you the other day, I could give you 200 clips of things right now to say, you decide, which ones you use, or I could tell you. But if you're running a nonprofit organization, I think it's important for you to know that that's already in you.
Absolutely.
If you talk with some passion behind you, and you got some music behind you that's mimicking that passion, or you got a production. There's one other area that I hesitate to talk about because I don't like competition. But when we're talking about building something like this, every speaker has a speaker reel. Okay.
Yep.
Very few nonprofit corporations have a speaker reel, or what I would call a capability reel that shows a capability. So why not do a capability reel that motivates people with the music? And that's something you feel like you can do for people. Is that right?
Absolutely. We could bring that to reality. It's 2021 now. We have to find new ways to market a lot of the same things. There's going to be very few new ideas, but there's new ways to execute on old things, just give people a new outlook on it.
Cool. So then that was motivatormusic.com. I hope I got it spelled right in the lower third there. But motivatormusic.com. You can go there. We can take a look at that and make that happen for yourselves. That's one thing I wasn't aware of. When we talked, I just got motivated by it, which is good, I guess. But I didn't go to the website yet. So I'll go to that this afternoon and take a look at it, or this evening and take a look at it and start building from there. This is one of those things, ladies and gentlemen, that I just know for those people who are my clients in the nonprofit, I'm going to be recommending it. Okay. And I'm going to recommend it because I'm going to use it. Okay. We've already talked about a couple of projects we want to do. We'll get the first project done and we'll add some things to it. I had a lady the other day come on board and she was trying to explain to these nonprofit organizations why they should have a podcast, even if they're not talking about their organization and all these podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to just reiterate, you can help them get that opening.
Absolutely.
You could take my opening and change it.
Change it right up.
And make it, I mean, I like it because I wrote it. Okay, I wrote the music. I put the music together for. I like it, but I mean, I don't have an ending. I do have an ending piece for solo work, but I don't have an ending piece for this. If I'm, I guess what I'm going to ask you is this, hypothetical. So, CEO of a company, it doesn't matter. Nonprofit's my niche, but it doesn't matter. CEO of the company wants to go motivate his team in a retreat. They want to do something out of the box.
Nice.
What would you tell that CEO?
If you want to motivate your team, you're going to have to really get them excited about the small things. You know, building and team building and relationships is the easiest way to motivate somebody if they know they don't want to let somebody down. Like if you believe in the leader, then that's that extra motivation for days when you don't feel like it. When you have like an hour left at work and you're really just trying to go through the motions that last hour. Are you really going to really execute and work hard for your last hour or that first hour? That first and that last hour I feel like is the biggest difference in kind of engaging your team. So what gets them excited? I love if you were to do a retreat. I mean, everyone loves trips, and retreat just sounds awesome. So if you're able to also have content like say like theme music for your company, that'll get your team excited. Like, hey, we actually have an album for our organization, and we were listening to it on the way here, and just knowing that it would motivate me a little more. Like, hey, my company, we're doing some cool stuff, and we're giving some value. I'm happy to be a part of this organization.
I think that's a powerful statement right there. I hadn't even thought about it that way. If a company has put together a theme album, so to speak. So now you bring up another question for me, but if I have a theme album, so if I have a kind of a fun topic, different theme, different type of music, it may be the same music, but it's a different type of music involved. But then the next talk is about serious approach, helping people, or maybe a sad approach. All that can be like inside of the theme of the album, and
yes, it could all be within the album.
Okay, because I'm thinking of movies. How movies have different, like in the Star Wars. When they're talking about Darth Vader versus when they're talking about Luke Skywalker, because the music changes to match each character.
Absolutely, it changes to match each character, and within the album, it's an emotion, it's a feeling, it's a vibe. So you're creating a certain emotion within them. So what we typically like to do is create an album full of one type of track or one type of sound, like one type of instrumentals. So where it's consistent from when you turn it on to when you're finished. Or I mean, there's sometimes where you want to do a mix. You want to do some cinematic stuff. You want to do just some like upbeat workout type stuff. But that's all in conversation. Like, what emotion do you want to create or carry throughout the project? And we, kind of identify how we want to go about that from there.
Okay, I'm going to have you review a couple of things because I want people to really understand the value of making a difference, reaching out and getting people worldwide. So a couple of things I want to review with you is this: the idea, just a simple fact that we're able to sit down and create a mood, an album, a movie theme that goes for your company or for your speaking career. That's your specialty.
Absolutely. Super special at it.
Okay, great. And you can do all genres, right? It doesn't matter.
Whatever sound you're looking to create, we can make it happen.
Okay. And once we do one, we may want to do another one, but you're kind of suggesting off the bat, stay within one theme for the first one?
Yes. The first one is the most important one.
Right.
Because it's the first time that they're considering or looking at you in that light and trying to like really giving it a chance, giving the project, okay, let me check this out. And if you're carrying them like through different, like sounds, and that's like inconsistent from the first one. It's going to be even more harder. So just create at least one solid sound. So this is that. You know, the next time we can maybe dabble a little bit here and there, but I like to recommend with the first project is something that's a consistent message all the way through.
Okay. And so, and you're writing, we're not talking about rap. I mean, rap isn't, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you're putting together music. You're not talking about someone need to come up with rap or lyrics. You're talking about putting the music behind it, or you're talking about lyrics as well?
Oh, no, no rapping or singing. But if you have an organization or a speaker has those talents, we maybe incorporate that a little bit but we don't want to confuse it with something that's like a musical album. So we like want to keep it 90%, speaking or giving, some kind of value, with your words. Sometimes there is a chorus element. There may be a phrase, like a catchy phrase, to where we can, make repetitive and make it sound and flow good with our sound design or any, mixing and mastering. But usually no music or singing or rapping. But
Cool. Love that. So the power here is that we can sit down and create a worldwide audience, a statewide audience, a citywide audience, just from doing something new but is old.
Yeah, absolutely. But sometimes we create some new voiceovers. Like say if you send me a bunch of links, and some of it the quality isn't all the way there, or a lot of times it's just that you want to like, hey, this is what I got on this, but I really think I could do a little bit better than this. Record a fresh voiceover, and get it over, and we'll get it done.
Here's something that's come up here just recently. And I ask this because, again, I'm asking for myself, but this is useful, I think, for a lot of leaders to understand. So there's a course that is being multi-$1,000, $12,000 on how to advertise on YouTube to get people to come to your online courses. Your work could forego all that, couldn't it? Because he's teaching us how to create a commercial, a 30, 60, 90-second commercial. And all I have to do is supply you with a good voiceover, and you could create the emotion inside the music.
Emotion inside the music it's the number one marketing tool in the world. If you look at an artist that create an album and tour the rest of their life from
one album, really? two or three. So if you're in a leadership position, you want to grow your company, grow your productivity. Number one, this is going to help your team get motivated. Because like you said earlier, it's the small things. And your team knows, hey, this is our theme, and this is a moving theme, like that theme. It helps them feel proud about the company so they can be more productive. But number two, someone is listening to it. Maybe they just happen to be flipping through YouTube or flipping through something, and there you come up.
Digital footprint. You're building your footprint, you're becoming more searchable at the very least. You're more searchable, and that could be the difference in this. Some people may not even listen to your album, but know that you have one. Like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. There's so many angles that we haven't even discussed or talked about.
Oh my goodness. We can talk for hours about this, but I know our time is limited here.
Yeah, and we're going to talk for hours about this because you're going to do something for you. And that's going to, I don't think people should wait, because once this catches on, it's going to reach the saturation point, and you're going to have to start turning people down, because you're going to say, I can't take on more than 500 projects at once. So turn them down.
But almost getting there. So we don't want to put too much on our plate as far as album, because we want to put the energy that it deserves into each album. So we're stopping ourselves at 7 albums a month right now. So it's close to that number now. It's funny you say that, because we're getting to that already, to start kind of turning people down. We want to wait till next month, maybe create like an application process.
Yeah.
And see, that's what's going on now.
On the website, Motivator Music, is there an intake form so people could fill that out and get a call back or set an appointment with you or anything like that? Of course, there's got to be a way, I guess.
Yes, it's on the homepage. So towards the bottom of the homepage, you will see an intake form where you can, give us some information about yourself, name, email, what your keynote topic is, which is important, and any links that you can provide. So any links you can provide, what you speak about as well. And it's scattered across the site after that, but homepage definitely you're going to be able to, go ahead and submit an intake form.
Okay. All right. Perfect. 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 Chawn, I got to tell you, I thank you very much for taking the time to do all this. Is there any questions that I didn't ask you that I should have?
No, you covered it. Your questions were awesome.
I'm glad to hear that. At least I got that part right today. It's a good day for that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's your opportunity right there. Let's talk about doing something different and better for everybody that's worthwhile. I want to thank everybody for stopping by, listening in, and take advantage of this. Okay. Take advantage of this. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.